Good morning. My name is Rebecca Tadesso. I'm the Director of the Division of Radioactive Waste Management and Decommissioning at OECD Nuclear Energy Agency. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak at the SARGO International Symposium 2022. I apologize I was not able to attend in person due to other commitments. However, I appreciate the opportunity to address challenges in decommissioning and a path forward as to how to address it. For those of you who might not know, NEA is 34 countries seeking excellence in nuclear safety, technology, and policy. We have 8 standing technical committees, more than 80 working parties and expert groups. We also have an NEA data bank providing nuclear data code verification services. And we also have growing global relationship with industry and universities. NEA countries operate about 81% of the world's installation of nuclear capacity. Within the back end of the nuclear fuel cycle, my division is responsible for the Radioactive Waste Management Committee and the Committee for Decommissioning and Nuclear Installation and Legacy Management. These two committees are tasked by developing strategies, policies, best practices in nuclear decommissioning and management of legacy facility, as well as radioactive waste management. We look at regulatory aspects, legal issues, environmental factors, operational safety, societal factors, and environmental factors. We move to decommissioning. The global nuclear power plant development has also been increasingly developing new technologies, as well as decommissioning a number of facilities because of their age and social issues, as well as economical factors. So there's a significant number of decommissioning facilities throughout the world, as you can see in the green. Some of the key challenges identified in decommissioning is that insufficient pre-planning, such as lack of optimal design from the beginning, lack of timely response, improper evaluation. If we think about lack of overall optimization, we're not considering all hazards approach, meaning looking at the chemical as well as the radiological hazards that are in place. Lack of information, data, and knowledge management that is not being transferred to the next generation. Ineffective communication, conflicting international standards, not engaging stakeholders through the whole fuel cycle process. When we talk about lack of optimal design, when we're doing a design of a nuclear facility, there are some lessons that we need to learn for the future. Embedded piping under leaking conditions creates groundwater contamination. Choosing a material that doesn't have a disposal pathway creates another issue in the back end. Inadequate characterization. Characterization is an iterative process that needs to be considered using cost and a whole life cycle. The data obtained has to be good enough to start early and be able to have that information throughout the process. So having this iterative process supports the decommissioning, and it's very important to make sure that we have enough characterization to understand what the end state looks like. Lack of timely response. That is when you have an incident in a nuclear power plant or any facilities, addressing it immediately and providing an assessment helps you from not having a decommissioning that is complicated. So responsibility has to be characterizing the site appropriately, making sure that you're looking at holistically, and when you're making those decisions, you're considering the end state as a way to address the issue. Insufficient stakeholder engagement is also a key element that we identified. Decision-making process lack collaboration and integrated approach. Conflicting regulatory standards, all stakeholders not engaged throughout the fuel cycle process has created inefficiencies during decommissioning period of time. Another issue that we've identified is human factors and organizational factors. We need to make sure that when we're transitioning from operation to decommissioning, there is a safety culture that needs to be considered. We need to motivate people to make sure that they have information being transferred. Decommissioning could go through smoothly, as well as looking at all hazards and risks in a complete picture instead of just looking at it from one lens. And also we need to make sure that we continue to bring our organization to develop new talents and be able to manage the projects. It's not an end, it's a beginning of another phase. So what are the lessons learned? Well, first of all, optimization and design and facility. For the newcomers, that is one of the things that we're trying to teach. Make sure you design your facility based on what the end looks like. Improve timeliness and response. If there is an event that happened, address it immediately. When you transition from operation to decommissioning, make sure that you have assess management, the fuel removal, shutdown, all those things have to be considered as part of your evaluation for decommissioning. Overall optimization factors, such as decision-making, looking at the end state, looking at what activities needs to be addressed immediately, what could wait, how are you going to decommission the facility, where is the waste going to be taken, all those things have to be considered with the engaging stakeholders and throughout the process, because they are the responsible at the end of the facility's lifetime, and also considering economical development. So I'll transition now to what are the activities that could happen to develop economical growth in the future. So regional development during decommissioning is an area for consideration that I'll talk about. Policy options to build sustainable, resilient futures on decommissioning. We have to create industrial cluster. What does that mean? Defining decommissioning industry and develop local dialogues to reduce information gaps, align capabilities to technical requirements, create a collaborative business environment in the region in which local companies complement each other while also competing to innovate, strengthen cluster management, organization, leadership to play catalytic role in cluster development, in supporting local firms in upskilling the workforce, inventory local supply chains, consider preferential trending into the area to analyze and match local capability with the technical requirements of the decommissioning project, and support participation of small, medium-sized enterprise. Decommissioning takes 30 to 40 years. So that offers an opportunity to cultivate long-term sustainable growth and resilience in regional and beyond. Develop and retain local skills, talent through continued investment in human resources, research and development, and vocational training, especially for young generation. Develop a brain circulation strategies between local firms and local, national, international universities and research institutions to facilitate human resource mobility. Diversifying economy. Improve public services to enhance regional attractiveness in a way that go beyond industrial development perspective and help to retain skill and talent labor force. Support an indigenous approach that focuses post-crisis national support into developing the region's internal capacity for growth to prepare, phasing out government assistance. Promote smart specialization approaches that deepen the regional strength while diversifying its option. Build a platform collaborative among regional factors from the private, public, academic sectors and design implementation strategy for development. Vision through the bottom-up approach. Use functional urban areas to analyze labor market connectively within the decommissioning area and encompassing adjacent district. Apply bottom-up approach combined with central facilitator to enable communication, coordination, coherence between different locations, layers of stakeholder activity. Identify complementary roles for municipalities that respond to their size, economic functions, and challenges. Shape a vision using sustainable development goals for long-term regional development, leveraging each city's strengths and specialization. Those are some of the elements that we believe could get you to a successful decommissioning. As we said earlier, stakeholder is a key to all aspects. Empathy, execution are required. Stakeholder collaboration is critical. Successful cleanup is an evolution. It is not something that just happens and ends. Integration and coordination at all levels is essential. Engage with young generation early on. Build trust with stakeholders. and ensure that economical development in this area is sustainable. With that, I conclude my presentation, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to present. It's unfortunate I'm not with you, but I will wish you a successful conference until I'm able to join you another time. Thank you very much.